Do you find that unforgiveness is one of the biggest areas where we need to learn how to overcome it?
I think it really is probably the biggest, because we're all going to get wounded in life. And this is in the book. There's a chapter on unforgiveness. I'm not a hater. I've never been a hater, but there have been a couple of people that I really hated. And one guy in particular just did me a lot of damage. And I just hated his guts, wanted him to die. I just had a little torture chamber in my heart, and I drug him down there 5 or 10 times a day and just beat him up, beat the nonsense out of him. And so I just hated his guts. I just did. And it doesn't matter who you're unforgiving towards. It comes out on the people closest around you.
Yeah.
And so what happened was it came out on Karen. I began to be short with her, and Karen walked up to me one day and she said, "Your personality's changing." And I felt oppressed, the longer I hated him, because I hated this guy. And so I was praying one day, and Karen said, "You need to deal with this." And I knew, and I was a pastor. Okay, so I mean, this is not back in my bad days. So I was a pastor, and I was praying one day, and the Lord said, "I want you to bless him."
Yikes.
And I said, No, I'm not going to bless him.
Well, he didn't deserve it, I'm sure.
No, and I thought, Lord, if I prayed a blessing on him and you actually blessed him, now I'm mad at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
the Lord never says, "Jimmy, you're right." So the Lord kept on. So he said, "I want you to bless him," and he just stayed in my face about it. So finally, I prayed a prayer of blessing, didn't mean it, and here's what the Lord said: "You pray for him like you pray for you." And I thought I deserve. I'm such a wonderful person. I deserve to be blessed. He does, And the Lord said, so I prayed the prayer, had my fingers crossed, didn't mean it. It made me sick to pray it. And the Lord said, "I want you to pray it every day."
Yeah.
And so I woke up the next day, prayed it, didn't mean it. And I woke the next day, prayed it, didn't mean it. I think it was 10 or 12 days into praying for him and his family every day. And I was praying one day, and in my heart now, I saw a little 10-year-old boy standing out in a field, and kind of on a ranch, kind of by a house. And I knew it was this man that I hated, as a little boy. And what I knew is something horrible had been done to him. And the Lord said to me, "You see him for what he did to you. I see him for what was done to him." And instantly,
wow,
all the rage and hatred became compassion. And I never, ever felt ill toward him again. And here's what I say. A lot of people will say to me, they'll say, "Jimmy, I have prayed to forgive my abusive father, stepfather, mother, ex-husband, ex-wife 1,000,000 times, but nothing changes." Jesus said, "Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who spitefully use you." That's not trite advice.
Yeah.
That is healing.
Yeah.
And if you can't bless, you haven't forgiven.
Yeah.
You can say with your lips all day long, "I forgive you, I forgive you," but you have to take it to the next level. And I'm talking about people that sexually abused you. I'm talking about people that did horrible things to you. Jesus forgave us all that we did. We put Jesus on the cross. We did my sins, put Jesus on the cross. So whatever a person does to me does not compare to what I did to Jesus. And so it's grace for grace.
Yeah, I also find that when you get stuck there, a lot of it is that conflict we have with that sense of justice,
That's exactly
which is a
right.
right sense. But what we essentially say is, I trust my sense of justice more than I trust God's.
That's right.
By holding on and not just letting them go, letting someone off the hook, but putting them on God's hook.
Well, bitterness is a justice spirit. See, bitterness demands justice before it'll move on.